You've been told that success is supposed to be hard, that the grind is noble, that if it doesn't hurt, it doesn't count, that if you're not pushing yourself to the edge of burnout, you're not doing enough. But what if that's the biggest lie you've ever believed? What if the secret to achieving more isn't doing more, but doing less? Not out of laziness, but out of clarity, out of intention, out of mastery. Because here's the truth no one ever told you. Life doesn't have to be so hard. Success doesn't have to be so exhausting. What matters most can actually be effortless. That's the message Greg McKeown teaches in Effortless. And if you understand it, if you apply it, you'll begin to operate on an entirely different level than 99% of people. Let's break it down. Chapter 1. You're not lazy. You're overloaded. Most people aren't lazy. They're buried. Buried under endless to-do lists. Buried under expectations they never agreed to. Buried under pressure, perfectionism, and the lie that the only way to win is to suffer. And when life gets too heavy, they blame themselves. They think, I just need more motivation. I need to try harder. I need to wake up earlier, push through the pain, hustle more. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is the system? Because here's something powerful to remember. Hard work isn't always the answer. Smart work is. And the smartest work is effortless. It's not about avoiding effort. It's about removing friction, the kind that doesn't serve you. It's about identifying what matters most, and then finding the easiest way to make it happen. Think about the most successful people in the world. They don't do everything. They do the right things. The easy way. On repeat. That's not weakness. That's efficiency. That's leverage. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is drowning in busy work, thinking that being exhausted is a badge of honor. But you're different, because now you know. Ease is not the enemy. It's the unlock. Chapter 2. The effortless state, where flow happens. There's a state where life feels light, where your brain isn't fogged up with 17 different tabs open, where you're calm, focused, and moving with momentum. That's what Greg McKeown calls the effortless state. It's not about escaping responsibility. It's about clearing mental clutter. It's when your mind is rested, your emotions are stable, your priorities are obvious. In that state, you don't have to force discipline. It happens naturally. And here's the powerful part. You can train yourself to live there. Start with this. Clear your mind. Write everything down. Let your brain breathe. Protect your energy. Rest is not a reward. It's a requirement. Decide what matters. Then eliminate what doesn't. This is how you rise. Not through burnout, but through clarity. Most people fight through fog. You're going to cut through it with light. Chapter 3. Take the path of least resistance. The world glorifies the hard way. But here's the truth. Success doesn't reward effort. It rewards results, and results come faster when you stop forcing everything. When something feels heavy, don't just push harder. Ask better questions. Is there a simpler way to do this? Can I automate this? Can I eliminate this altogether? Because every system, every routine, every responsibility in your life is either helping you or it's hurting you. Your job is to redesign your life so the essential things flow with less resistance. Think templates instead of starting from scratch, checklists instead of remembering everything, routines instead of willpower. This is how the top 1% scale. Not by trying harder, but by building systems that make excellence inevitable. In the next part, we'll dive into how to simplify decisions so your brain isn't drained by constant choices, why done is better than perfect, and how to make taking action feel as natural as breathing. Chapter 4. Simplicity wins always. Every day you're making hundreds of decisions. What to eat, what to wear, what to prioritize. Most of those choices don't move you forward. They just drain you. That's called decision fatigue, and it's one of the biggest reasons people feel stuck. But here's what the top 1% understand. When you simplify your decisions, you free your energy. And when your energy is free, your mind can focus. You don't need more willpower. You need fewer distractions. You don't need better motivation. You need better systems. So ask yourself, what decisions am I making over and over that I could automate? What routines could I lock in to eliminate chaos? Whether it's a morning routine, a standard email reply, or a meal plan for the week, every small system saves you time, mental energy, and stress. Simplicity isn't boring. It's power. Because in a world that's constantly trying to distract you, simplicity is a superpower. Chapter 5. Done is better than perfect. Let me say something that might shock you. Perfectionism is not a strength. It's a silent form of procrastination. The pursuit of perfect is what's stopping you from making progress. Because the perfect time? It doesn't exist. The perfect plan? It changes the moment reality shows up. Most people waste years preparing, polishing, hesitating. But you don't need perfection. You need momentum. Greg McKeown puts it like this. When the essential is easy, we make progress. When it's hard, we stall. So here's your new mantra. Make it easy to start. Make it easy to finish. Want to write a book? Start with 100 messy words a day. Want to get fit? Start with 10 minutes, not 90. Want to start a business? Launch version 1.0 today. And improve as you go. The people who succeed don't wait to be perfect. They move. They ship. They refine. Because progress beats potential. Every single time. Chapter 6. Lighten the load. You are carrying too much. Too many responsibilities. Too many mental tabs open. Too many things you think you have to do. But how many of those things actually need to be done? Here's something Greg emphasizes. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. If your life feels heavy, don't ask yourself, how do I carry more? Ask instead, what can I delegate? What can I automate? What can I just drop? Let that sink in. What can I drop entirely? Not everything deserves your time. Not every request deserves a yes. Not every task is truly essential. Your value is not measured by how much you carry, but by how well you choose what matters. When you lighten your load, you create room for clarity, room for peace, room for breakthrough, and that's when the magic happens. Chapter 7. Make taking action. The easy choice. Most people wait until they feel like it. But motivation is unreliable. Emotion is unpredictable. And waiting for inspiration is a trap. Want to know how successful people stay consistent? They make taking action the easiest option. They remove friction. They prime their environment. They design their routines. If they want to read more, they leave a book on the pillow. If they want to eat better, they stock the fridge with prepped meals. If they want to work out, their gym shoes are by the door. It's not about discipline. It's about design. Because when doing the right thing becomes easier than avoiding it, you win automatically. That's the effortless way. In the next part, we'll dive into how to build systems that run without you, why trusting yourself makes everything easier, and how the best in the world achieve more with less effort every day. Chapter 8. Systems run while you rest. Here's a powerful truth. If you build it right, it keeps working, even when you're not. That's the beauty of systems. Most people live on a cycle of manual effort. Every win requires willpower. Every result needs them at the wheel. And when they stop working, so does their progress. But there's another way. The effortless way. Ask yourself, what can I automate? What can I schedule once, then forget about? What can I design now that will save me hundreds of decisions later? Think about the power of autopay on bills, calendar blocks for your top priorities, reminders that prompt action without mental stress, pre-built templates for repetitive tasks. You're not lazy for wanting things to be easier. You're smart for removing the unnecessary. Because when you build systems that run on their own, you free your time. You free your energy. You free your mind. And that's when you can finally focus on what matters most. Not because you're grinding harder, but because you've made the essential things automatic. Chapter 9. Trust makes everything lighter. Here's something you don't hear often in the productivity world. Trust is a force multiplier. When you build trust with your team, your partner, your clients, even with yourself, life becomes lighter. No more constant follow-ups. No more second-guessing. No more micromanaging. Why? Because trust is what allows things to flow. You don't need 100 backup plans when you trust the process. You don't need to chase or control everything when you trust people to follow through. And most importantly, you move faster when you trust yourself. Trust that your instincts matter. Trust that you don't need to say yes to everything. Trust that ease doesn't mean weakness. It means wisdom. If you want to make life effortless, build systems. Yes, but also build trust. It's the invisible infrastructure of a smooth life. Chapter 10. The power of reverse effort. There's a strange law of life. Sometimes, trying harder makes things worse. Think about sleep. The harder you try to fall asleep, the more awake you feel. The harder you try to be creative, the more blocked you become. The harder you try to connect with someone, the more distant they feel. It's called reverse effort. And it's why sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to let go. To stop gripping the wheel so tightly. To stop forcing outcomes. To stop believing that everything depends on you. Instead of asking, how can I make this happen? Ask, how can I make this easier to happen? Ease is not the enemy. It's a new level of mastery. Chapter 11. Effortless is not lazy. It's liberating. Some people will hear this and say, but isn't this just being lazy? No. Lazy is avoiding responsibility. Effortless is designing your responsibilities to be light. Lazy is doing nothing. Effortless is doing less, so you can do more of what truly matters. Lazy leads to regret. Effortless leads to freedom. Greg McKeown isn't saying to stop working. He's saying, stop wasting your energy on the wrong things. Because when your energy is protected, your clarity is sharp, and your systems are smart, success becomes sustainable, joy becomes natural, and life becomes effortless. In the next and final part, we'll go over a daily effortless routine you can use starting today, how to reset when things feel heavy again, and why mastering ease might be the greatest success skill of the 21st century. Chapter 12. The effortless daily routine. Let's talk about what this looks like in real life. It's one thing to understand the ideas. It's another thing to live them. So how do you design a day that feels light, clear, and deeply productive without burning out? Here's your effortless daily routine. 1. Start with clarity, not chaos. Begin your day by asking one question. What's the most important thing I can do today? The thing that will make everything else easier or unnecessary. Then, write it down. One task. One priority. That's your anchor. 2. Protect your first hour. No email. No social media. No news. This is your sacred time to think, plan, or create. Even just 30 minutes can change everything. 3. Automate the routine stuff. Meal prep. Recurring tasks. Calendar reminders. Build systems for anything that repeats. Free your mind from the trivial. Take intentional breaks. Rest is not the opposite of productivity. It's the fuel for it. Step away. Reset. Come back with clarity. Review and reflect. End your day with 2 questions. What felt heavy? How can I make that lighter tomorrow? That's it. Simple. Focused. Repeatable. Success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less of what doesn't matter and doing the essential things with ease. Chapter 13. When it gets heavy again. Because let's be honest, life won't always feel light. You'll get overwhelmed. You'll fall back into old patterns. You'll have days when everything feels hard again. That's okay. You're human. The trick is not to avoid the weight. The trick is to notice it and then reset. So when life feels heavy again, do this. Pause. Don't push through mindlessly. Step back. Clear. Write everything down. Empty your mind. Simplify. Ask, what's essential here? What can I drop, delegate, or defer? Reset. Do one small, meaningful task. One win. Let that spark momentum. That's the effortless mindset in action. You don't have to climb the whole mountain today. You just have to take one light step in the right direction. Chapter 14. Ease is a competitive advantage. We live in a culture that glorifies struggle. But what if the real edge was peace? What if your calm focus, your smooth systems, your joyful clarity was what made you unstoppable? Because while everyone else is exhausted, distracted, and burnt out, you'll be clear, you'll be consistent, you'll be effective, not because you pushed harder, but because you moved smarter. Ease isn't just a feeling, it's a strategy. Effortless is a choice. At the end of the day, you have a choice. You can live like most people, buried under pressure, tangled in busy work, chasing goals that never feel like enough, or you can choose the path of less friction, more clarity, and lasting momentum. You can choose to simplify, to let go, to automate, delegate, and systemize, to do the essential things in the most effortless way possible. Because ease isn't the enemy of achievement, it's the gateway to it. So starting today, choose clarity over chaos. Choose systems over stress. Choose progress over perfection. Choose effortless. Your life doesn't have to be heavy. It can be lighter. It can be simpler. It can be better. And that starts with a single decision: to stop doing it the hard way and start doing it the smart way. Because the future doesn't belong to the most burned out. It belongs to those who move with clarity, consistency, and ease. Life doesn't have to be difficult, and neither does finding effective wisdom. Subscribe to the Wisdom Pen for more life-changing book insights like these, presented in a clear, practical, and effortless way. Join our community of listeners who value clarity over chaos and results over exhaustion. A simple click below connects you to more groundbreaking ideas from the world's best books. Because changing your life should be as easy as subscribing. Thanks for listening.